Hello everyone, my name is Sniping Is Fun, and welcome you back to a video response slash my thoughts on the recent Smash Brothers Direct. I'm going to quickly start the video off giving my quick thoughts on the recent Smash Brothers Direct revealing the 5th character of the Fighter Pass 1 of the DLC. And then I'm going to spend the rest of the video, the majority of the video, giving a certain response to a certain reaction a good chunk of people seem to be having with this said character. Because I want to. But first and foremost, for those of you who don't know, there was a Smash Direct last Thursday, the 16th of January, that revealed the 5th character, and it is Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses. I liked it. I'm a Fire Emblem fan. I've stated that numerous times. When I did my Fire character video for after with the DLC and then the base roster stuff, I talked about numerous Fire Emblem characters, from Alm and Celica to the characters from Three Houses, numerous characters from Heroes, yada yada yada, and other characters I mentioned too, like Lynn and other characters like Bowie and whatnot, Maya, whatever, from like Shadows of Valentia as well. I've mentioned numerous Fire Emblem characters. I am a big Fire Emblem fan. I've gotten into the series since the days of like Ike's games. I love the series. It's one of my favorite Nintendo series of all time. And for me, I love it finally getting the representation it deserves. And it does. It is a franchise that deserves it. Even Sakurai represents it. It's like Pokemon. I love that it's getting properly represented in Smash Bros. Now, and I think Byleth is a cool character. The moveset looks cool. We finally have a non-sword Fire Emblem character, people. The stage looks cool, and I think it deserved it. Fire Emblem Three Houses was one of the best games to come out last year. Not even just on the Switch, just one of the best games in general. Probably one of the best Fire Emblem games in history, in recent memory at the very least. And it has a lot of good characters. It represents a new Fire Emblem. I think it's a good closure. I think maybe if you moved it around to a different part of the past, like some people have been saying online, that might have, made people feel a little bit better. But I liked it. I thought it was a cool moveset. The color schemes for the thing, yada yada yada. I think it's going to be good. I rather would have had Edelgard or Dimitri, but I kind of expected at some point in the DLC, Three Houses was going to get one of the characters. Fire Emblem, if Nintendo got any character in the DLC, if any series from them got anything in the DLC, there was 2 series that came to mind. One was Fire Emblem, the other one was Pokemon. And the rare occasion if a new game was coming out, that's the thing though, with Nintendo, it feels like if they got any character in the DLC, 9 times out of 10, it probably would have been a marketing choice. And I find people that, Smash shouldn't be about marketing and advertising, and it should just be a big all-star battle and put in all popular characters fans want. Who said? First and foremost, Fire Emblem, Smash Bros. Has always kind of had marketing in it ever since the earlier days. It just wasn't really noticeable till Brawl. Second off, it is a big popular all-star game, which sometimes includes newer characters from newer games. And third off, who's to say Fire Emblem's not popular? It's pretty big in Japan, and it's growing out in like America and Europe and all that. The series has been around since 1990. I'm sure it has a fan base by now, because Heroes is one of the best Nintendo mobile games ever. It's doing really well. I think the series has its popularity. And it's like, it's popular. It is popular. How can you dictate it's not popular? Oh, because it's not Mario and Pokemon popular. It's popular, and it deserves it. I just find it funny. But like I said, I love seeing it. I predicted the characters when I did my long Smash Brothers character list over a year ago. I think it was in the initial 150. I talked about the possibility of Fire Emblem 16. Technically, it's 17 because Heroes counts as 15 and 16 is Shadows of Valentia, so 17 is Three Houses. I kind of miscounted there. But I did talk about the 4 main characters, as well as other Fire Emblem characters. I love seeing it. Like I said, I love Fire Emblem. My thoughts on the Direct, I'm looking forward to Byleth next week. I'm really looking forward to playing as him and her. I'm really looking to play as them. And my overall things, I thought it was a good Direct. I enjoyed it. I liked the music. I liked the stage. I liked the character. I liked the presentation. I thought it was fun. I liked it. But apparently other people didn't. And now this is where the rest of the video is going to be. My thoughts on the haters. The Byleth haters. People hating on Byleth. And or in general, just another Fire Emblem character in general, or Fire Emblem representation in Smash Bros. In general, and just the stuff that they've been going through since Thursday, over the weekend, online. I see it on Twitter, I see it on Facebook, I see it on YouTube, I see it all over the internet. These people coming out of the woodwork to be complete haters and nothing but hating. But before I get started on that, because my next stage in my Smash stage ideas was supposed to be a Fire Emblem Three Houses stage, But due to the fact that we have an actual Fire Emblem Three House character coming and their own stage coming, I kind of can't really do that video now. So I'm going to quickly just give you my thoughts on how that would have worked. Because now the next stage is going to be the Land of the Dead Hell from Fire Emblem Heroes. Fire Emblem! Yeah, I would have done Fodlan Fields. Because and my reasoning for doing that stage would have been... because the battles in Fire Emblem usually take out in grassy, mountainy fields. And most of the stages in Smash Bros. Are like in castles in certain areas and stuff like that kind of thing. An arena, like the Colosseums and whatnot. I wanted to kind of tackle the other aspect of it. So I said Fodlan Fields, which would have been like a big, giant grassy field, kind of like a battlefield in the middle of a grassy field. And pretty much all the stage hazards would have been like dragons. Like you see a war going on behind you. A big, giant battle of soldiers, knights, Pegasus knights, wyvern riders, and all that fighting each other. You would have seen in the background, and maybe some of the fire from the dragons would have hit the stage's or arrows would have been fired. It would have been a big battlefield. You're in the middle of a big giant medieval Fire Emblem war. That's basically what my concept of that stage would have been. That's all I wanted to state. That was it. That would be the stage hazards. That would be the platforms. The basic giant grassy plain field, maybe like some Smash platforms in the middle, or some sort of jumping, like how like in Fire Emblem they have those like areas you could heal yourself in the middle, like those little temple area, kind of like plateau areas, and maybe some columns or something, so you have some sort of platforms to jump on. And then like the stage hazards would be the war going on behind you, which is a giant Fire Emblem war battle of two sides fighting each other, and the various classes attacking the stage because they missed their opponents or missed the enemy and hit you. So yeah, there's that. And the music I would have picked, which is surprisingly, a lot of the music I kind of got right. It's not here for some reason. I don't know where he went. But the songs I would have picked, let me get the notebook here. I would have picked about 12, and it would have been The Edge of Dawn, English and Japanese, which I think is in the game. The Three Houses main theme, English and Japanese. The Fodlan Winds Rain version, Long Road Rain version. I don't know what the difference between Rain and Thunder is. I think it means some part of the battle when it starts getting to the end of it. I don't know. I haven't played enough of the Fire Emblem Three Houses yet to really kind of dictate that. The Apex of the World, Thunder, Shambhala Thunder, Funny Footsteps, Gentle Breeze, A Life at the Garrig Monastery. Most of these songs I think actually were picked by them. So yeah, that's about the general gist of it. A Long Road Rain, Chasing Daybreak Rain. I picked a lot of Rain versions and a couple Thunders. So yeah, that's basically what I picked for the stage, and that's how I would have done my stage. So now you kind of know what my next stage would have been if I did this before the frickin'... I wish I would have done this like a week ago, but work's been kind of busy with me. So yeah, my stage would have been Fodlan Fields, giant battlefield, you fight in the middle of a war. That's cool and all, but I didn't obviously, crap. But that's what I want my stage. So there's that. But let's get on quickly because I've already went about 7 minutes here. And kind of didn't talk about like my thoughts on the haters. That has been the case. There's been a lot of people that no pause it. Here we are. My thoughts on this, and my question to all of you: how did you guys not see it coming? Have you guys not paid attention to Fire Emblem since it was put in the Smash series since Melee? There's always at least one new Fire Emblem character, and I know a lot of people are like, but they have Crom! They have Crom! They have Crom! He was an Echo fighter that was more so put in because of a popularity choice, but at the same time, an Echo fighter, which isn't really a new fighter, especially because he was already in Smash Bros. As part of Robin's Final Smash. The other thing that's always kind of become a notice, and I know people say, oh, don't follow the patterns and stuff. Like Sakurai doesn't have a pattern and stuff. But that's kind of what's been my case, especially in terms of predicting Smash Brothers, speculating Smash Brothers. If you guys remember back in the day when I was speculating Smash 4 like crazy, I predicted a lot of stages and characters and items and whatnot. Was I wrong on a lot of that stuff? Yes. Was I right on some of that stuff? Character-wise, yes. It wasn't really on anything else, but I got characters right in Smash 4 by looking at that said theory. Looking at games that came out around the time, which even Sakurai said in an interview, basically a game that comes out around the time of him starting development, stuff that's going on in the game industry usually sometimes impacts what he does for the game, for that next Smash Brothers. But like I said, I predicted the likes of Palutena, Lucina, and Robin, or Chrom too, but that's another story. Shulk, freaking like even Dark Pit, and stuff like that in Smash Brothers 4, and then Ultimate. I kind of expected Isabelle to eventually happen, a new Fire Emblem character to eventually happen, new Pokemon from like the new generations of Pokemon always happening. You have to look at the patterns. Is there a set pattern? No, but there's styles of patterns. And the two things I've always noticed with Fire Emblem is one, there's always at least one new Fire Emblem character each Smash Brothers. Two, they always seem to represent at least one of the newer Fire Emblems. That one was not taken. Awakening was new when Smash Bros. 4 came out. Awakening was new when Smash Bros. 4 came out. So it was obviously going to be represented at the time. That was the big resurgence of the Fire Emblem franchise. But none of the new Fire Emblems in the recent history have had a character. They just threw Chrom in there as an Echo Fighter, and that's Fire Emblem 13. That came out in 2013. That's like almost 4 games old now. And then we got Corrin as DLC, which was the big new game at the time. That Fire Emblem 15, Heroes. Fire Emblem 16, Shadows of Valentia. Fire Emblem 17, Three Houses did not have a character. So with those 3 games missing, one of them was bound to get a character. And the obvious one was obviously, I feel Shadows of Valentia got screwed, so music-wise. Because of how popular it was probably Three Houses, unless they wanted to go for Heroes. Either or, it would have been like that. That's a set pattern. Like, it's not even a set pattern, but it's just a pattern that always happens because Sakurai and his team always seem to go for that. I know people are tired of seeing Fire Emblem in Smash Brothers, but Fire Emblem deserves the representation it gets. People always go off about, oh, it's not deserving, it's not as popular, it's not as iconic, it's not this, it's not that, it's not as, whatever, or it's not as legendary or so. He even stated, and I think that's the reason why Sakurai did the way he did in the Direct. He basically said, what is Fire Emblem, what is Fire Emblem Three Houses? He was trying to kind of give the basic conception of the franchise to people he knew were going to hate the Direct and hate Byleth being added to Smash Brothers. Because, it's another Fire Emblem character, and a lot of Smash fans just come off as blatant haters of Fire Emblem. I'm sorry. And that's not me being, oh, he's a fanboy of Fire Emblem. I don't care about really Fire Emblem getting characters, but I care about it getting represented properly, and I feel nowadays it is compared to where it was in Melee, which made sense because it was not out in the West yet. But in Brawl, I felt it was underrepresented. Roy should have stayed. Even Micaiah should have been added or something, or Lynn, or what's his name? Eli Wood, or Hector, or Ephraim, or Arika. Like, that should have been a smidge bigger at that time, like a third character, maybe even 4, but I'd say at least 3. It deserved at least 3 in Brawl. So when it finally started getting representation in Smash 4, Smash Ultimate, I feel the series is finally getting represented properly because Sakurai has stated in an interview before, it's like Pokemon. It has a large cast of characters. Each Fire Emblem has its own new cast of characters. Like each Pokemon generation has new Pokemon. There's almost like 700, 800 Pokemon. There's like about 1,000 Fire Emblem characters. How can you properly represent that with 3 to 5 characters? It needs about that 8 to 9 range to represent different games. And you cut out some of the older cast, because as after Ultimate, we're going to obviously get cut characters. So you cut Roy, you cut Lucina, you cut Chrom, and then you add the Fire Emblem 18, 19, 20 characters, and then you cut probably some of the older Pokemon, then you add Pokemon's generations 9, 10, 11. It's how it goes. You keep representing newer characters, and you cut out some of the old characters that are easily cuttable. That's kind of like what Smash Bros. Almost always has been, and especially for franchises like that, which there's always new cast of characters to add, and it would be unfair to say, oh, we have enough representation now, all these newer games can go, kiss my ass kind of thing, and not put them in Smash Brothers, and not even consider representing them. Like, you always kind of have to represent that. And if people say that's advertising, it's marketing, but that's the point. Smash has always had that. It just wasn't really noticeable till Brawl. Like, Smash Brothers original kind of had that. Like, it advertised like Pokemon and Kirby and Zelda and Mario, and if you weren't a fan of any of those franchises, you could, oh, those are cool characters, let me go actually play the actual game. That is marketing, that's advertising. It's showing you the characters and shoving them in your face. Then they add Melee, which was a lot of the they add all the characters to the series. They basically bulked up every roster like Star Fox and Pokemon and Mario and Zelda and whatnot, representing a lot of the newer games like Majora's Mask, Pokemon Gen 2, blah blah blah. It was advertising. Brawl was when it really started kind of being noticeable because it's like, okay, the WarioWare Wario, Generation 4 Pokemon, Ike's games for Fire Emblem, blah blah blah. Sonic, because he was a third party during that GameCube, Game Boy Advance generation leading up to the Wii, stuff like that. Like, it was a big advertising thing. And then Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate, I know you guys want other franchises represented, but at the same time, you are saying to cut anything from Fire Emblem because you don't think it deserves it, so other series can get this representation, which is entirely possible to get both. You can have the Fire Emblem characters, which do deserve it, in the other series. But I find it funny because it's like there's such a double standard. I know there's some people that kind of get tired of Mario and Pokemon representation, but at the same time, they're like, oh, well, it's not Pokemon and Mario. They got the original and unique characters still to add and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, but they still have the same amount as Fire Emblems. And they have more. I know that it's like Mario's the icon, the iconic legendary mascot character franchise and series for Nintendo. But it's the same thing. You're being double standards. You are being double standards there. When you say something like, oh, well, Fire Emblem doesn't deserve it, or it doesn't deserve to have many characters, it's not that as popular as some of these franchises. And then they go off and they name something like Metroid, which has been historically known to not be that much of a popular selling franchise. It is popular and it is an iconic series. I'm never going to give Metroid anything otherwise. It is a legendary, iconic series that certain games in the series have sold really well. But the series itself has never really been a major seller for Nintendo. Fire Emblem, I feel, has always kind of been larger than that, especially when it came to the West, especially with now Fire Emblem Heroes. And then people say, oh, not as legendary as other franchises, but yet they have Pokemon, which is 6 years younger, 6 years newer than Fire Emblem, which started in 1990. Popularity-wise, because obviously the Pokemon boom in the late 90s, and it's one of Nintendo's most popular franchises of all time. But Fire Emblem gets in that list too. Popularity varies, but also at the same time, you can't just say because this series is all the way up here that this series down here isn't still popular. This series down here is up here, while a lot of other series are below it like this. I just find the hate for Fire Emblem in general, not even just the Byleth thing. I find the hate for Fire Emblem in general annoying. I'm sorry, and that's not even me trying to sound like a fanboy. I'm just tired of hearing it because no one on the internet knows how to goddamn shut up about that stuff. And I'm not trying to attack any of you out there, but I'm just saying, anytime Fire Emblem is mentioned in Smash Bros., you get these certain fans that, they don't know how to express themselves properly because they always act in anger. They always act like, oh, another Marth, another sword user, another this. And they're all mentioning this stuff for Byleth when Byleth is another sword user. And, another Marth or another any of that stuff. It's them making these jokes. And they kind of go by the same thing. Oh, it's like Fire Marth and Dragon Marth and Waifu Marth and all this sort of stuff. And I'm sick and tired of hearing that stuff because, a lot of people do it in good fun. And I'm cool with it if it's done in good fun. But a lot of people do it for negative reasons. A lot of people do it because, oh, well, it's a little knock against the Fire Emblem series. They don't deserve this. I'm not a fan of this. I never want to play this. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't deserve this. And then you have Fire Emblem fans that kind of feel like they have to defend themselves sometimes because the series is getting unwarranted attacks in Smash Bros. Representation. And Sakurai has been getting death threats because of Byleth. He's been getting death threats because of a character into a video game. Freaking Jesus Christ. I know you guys have characters you want. I have characters I want too that are not Fire Emblem. I want Travis Touchdown, and I want Shantae, and I want other characters too. But I also want Fire Emblem characters. And on my recent list I did, number 3 was a Fire Emblem Three Houses character. Guess what? I got it. But like I said, I know people don't want it, and I'm not trying to attack people for it, but geez, you can handle it better than acting like angry assholes online, verbally and attacking people online. Like with the Pokemon creator. I didn't really like Sword and Shield cutting Pokemon and stuff like that, but you're giving this guy on his damn birthday you're trying to send death threats and everything to him. What is wrong with all of you? Here's my general thoughts before I end this. I know people don't like it, but not every character is meant for you, and a lot of people especially a lot of Western fans in America seem to think that their mindset is the only thing that matters. Characters that are popular only in the West. I know Fire Emblem isn't the biggest franchise in the West, but it has been growing since 2012, 2013, since Awakening came out. Awakening sold really well. Faith sold really well. Shadows of Valentia did okay. Heroes is pretty much their most popular IP, and I say their most popular is Nintendo because Pokemon Go is Niantic. It's not really it's their series, but it's not them. But Heroes has been doing really well since it came out in like 2016. And then, Three Houses sold really well. The series is growing worldwide. You may not be a fan of it, but not everything's supposed to be for you. Japan, Fire Emblem is loved in Japan. It's not like Dragon Quest popular. People are not skipping school and skipping work like back in the day with Dragon Quest. But people in Japan love the franchise. It is really popular over there. It's not like the number one or even top probably 5, but it's in the top 10 to 30, 50-ish range of series over there. And that's a lot given that video game franchises, there's a million video game franchises out there. I'm just saying, not everything's meant for you. And how can you dictate what is and isn't deserving? I'm not even sure if I can even dictate that. I just speculate, and I've been speculating since Smash Bros. 4, and I've been looking at the past games to see how they picked it, and I've seen it coming eventually, because if Nintendo did a character, they probably were going to do something marketing-wise, and the only franchise they could really add new characters for would have been like Pokemon or Fire Emblem and whatnot. I kind of seen it happening at some point. Even if it wasn't Smash Ultimate DLC, there's going to be the next game. I can guarantee you right now, in the next Smash Bros. Game, there's going to be at least one new Fire Emblem character, and people are going to be complaining all the same 5 to 8 years from now when that happens. I know, I just don't get it. People always try to jump, they jump through the walls, they have double standards, they try to be they always have to have some sort of retort against why Fire Emblem gets its representation, why Fire Emblem's getting these characters. Oh, Sakurai's playing favorites. Any game creator would be playing favorites at this point. You put someone else in there, and they might be adding 20 Xenoblade characters. You might be adding this person over there, and they'll add 50 Mario characters. Everyone would be playing favorites. Sakurai is just picking a series he is a fan of, and he feels deserves the representation it gets. That's all I can say. What else can you say? And that's it. That's my video. I'll probably do more of a thought on this, but my battery's dying right now. I went 20-some minutes on this. But yes, Fire Emblem deserves the representation it gets. I seen this coming. People really should learn to handle their anger better online. And there's always more characters. We have 6 more coming. Other series are going to be represented, Nintendo or third party. Maybe your characters get in then. I don't know, but just learn to handle your anger better. You guys need anger management really bad. And the Fire Emblem haters in the Smash fan base seriously need it, because they're some of the most stupid fans I've ever seen in my life. Or maybe not stupid, maybe that's a little too harsh. Fans needing help. That's where I'll go with. But yes, I'm just saying, I'm super happy for this. My thoughts on the Direct, I liked it. I'm seriously looking forward to playing as Byleth. And people that are also looking forward to play as Byleth, enjoy it. Don't let the haters get to you. It's a character. It's one character. They can learn to accept it, and you will love the character, and they'll be a fun character to play in Smash Brothers. As for the haters, move on. Hope your next character gets in, and understand Fire Emblem deserves this. See you later. My name is Simon. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to. Have a lovely day. Bye.